basically everything below it's going to stop working. All right, so along with draw stroke is trigger prep. So as I'm drawing the gun and I'm pressing out on target, instead of having my finger all the way out and be like, oh no, now I need to shoot, and then pulling the trigger, what I want to do is on the draw stroke, I get my finger on the trigger because I'm at something I'm going to shoot, want to shoot. I'm start prep that trigger. So as I press out and I get full presentation, I can break that shot, okay? For the most part, if you're drawing as a good person, you're going to be reactive, right? Which means you're having to act upon somebody else's action. So if you see somebody draw a gun on you, you're already behind the curve. So being fast and effective and efficient is what's going to be able to make you faster than that person. So if I draw the gun and I'm fast as hell, but my finger's not on the trigger, and then I pull the trigger, one, it's a little slower, and two, the chance of me missing that first shot because I'm yanking on the trigger is much higher. So as I press out, I'm gonna start prepping that trigger. That way I get full presentation, that shot breaks. Okay, so live. Again, getting that good stance, upright position. Watch banded belly button. You're gonna dive deep, get a good grip on the gun, forward pressure, let it pop out, marry, prep that trigger, get that shot. Again, watch banded belly button, dive down the gun, depress that retention device, forward pressure on the front sight post, drop, marry, press out, prep, shot. Okay, a little faster. Okay, so use straight lines to your advantage, right? As I come up, you notice I come here and it's a straight line. Once it's here, it's just a straight line up into my line of sight. My head's not moving, nothing is moving except for my arms, right? Once I start moving my head, what that's doing is my line of sight's here, it's moving, and my gun is trying to marry up with another moving thing, right? So what I want to do is keep my eyes here, get my gun up, and just bring my gun to my eyes so it's only one moving thing, and I can start to slow it down and stop it right on time. Once I start moving two things, meaning if I draw and drop my head, my eyes are going down and my gun is moving up, so they're going to go blow past each other and have to come back. So keep your head upright, everything's normal. The only thing that needs to move to draw my gun is my hands, right? Nothing else needs to move. As a good guy, a law enforcement officer, a law-abiding citizen that is carrying a gun or whatever the case may be, we are responsible for every round that comes out of our gun, okay? So anything that happens once the bullet leaves the muzzle, we are accountable for. So being really fast at shooting one round and hitting wherever on the target may seem cool until you think about it in reality, right? If I'm nicking somebody's shoulder and that round is going off and hitting some grandma crossing the street, that's my fault, right? Mr. Bad Guy, he can spray and pray and he doesn't give a shit because he's already breaking the law, it doesn't matter. But as the good person, I need to be accountable for every round that I shoot. And the most commonly missed rounds are the one from the draw stroke and the first round after a reload, okay? So again, using the draw stroke to your advantage, making it fast and efficient, that way I don't need to worry about the draw stroke itself. I can focus on the fundamentals and getting those rounds where I want them to be is very important, okay? With that being said, every time that I reholster, I want to make sure I look at my holster, okay? Whether it's outside the waistband, inside the waistband, whatever the case may be. I'll clear my gun out for this demonstration. Everybody's seen the guy that shoots and he's like this, right? There's a huge problem with this. One, where's my gun pointed? At very important parts of my body, okay? If I'm holstering this gun, the chance of me needing it must be nothing, right? Because there's no reason that if I still need this gun, I'm gonna be putting it away, right? If I can't take my eyes off of whatever the situation is for this amount of time, then I probably shouldn't be putting my gun away. Now, there are some caveats to that with law enforcement and going hands-on and things like that, but it's still, I would much rather take a split second to look and make sure my gun's in my holster versus, you know, setting it like this, thinking it's in the holster. It's gonna not do that. There we go. Thinking it's in the holster, getting in a fight, and now my gun is in play for anybody to grab, okay? So always look, holster up, and it doesn't need to be this, right? right? I don't need to do that. All I need to do is glance, make sure it's clear. Now it's in the holster, I can do whatever I need to do, okay? Likewise, when you're concealed, look at the holster, make sure it's clear, gun away, then I'm ready to go. All right, so like I talked about before, theoretically you should be able to fire, the second the gun clears the holster, you should be able to fire up, all the way up into your line of sight with general, you know, accuracy depending on distance. Obviously, if he's really far away, I'm not gonna start plugging away from the hip, but if he's at a distance where I don't have any time and I need to get those rounds out as fast as possible, this is where it would be very important, okay? So if I draw and I'm here, I can start firing rounds all the way up until I'm full presentation, okay? Now, some things to be aware of. If you have a ported barrel, if you have a compensator, when I shoot from here, you're going to get blasted in the face, right? So just some things to be aware of. If you've never shot from here before or from here with any kind of ported barrel or compensator, all that gas is going straight up into your face. So you have to be aware of that, okay? With that being said, why I like watch-banded belly button is I draw here, there's no way that I can shoot my hand, right? Because the gun is here, my hand is here, right? Now, if I reach too far over and I draw, right, and my hand starts getting below my gun, it's gonna start flagging myself. So that watch-banded belly button does two things. One, it allows me to draw the gun here, I can start firing, marry up and press out. And two, it keeps the gun in front of everything on my body, which allows me to fire safely and not have to worry about shooting myself in the head.